Tonight, the Benton Police Department is sharing a word of caution to those who are holiday shopping online. Beware of porch pirates. Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Officers are keeping a close eye on mail theft this season. 2 people were arrested in Saline County earlier this week for stealing packages off other people's property. Lieutenant Quentin Jackson with BPD says they'll be charged with a felony. To avoid becoming a victim yourself, he has some easy advice. If possible, have someone pick up your package or maybe even have it delivered to work. And to those who think stealing is okay, well, he has a different message.
It's the same thing that you learn as a kid. If it's not yours, don't touch it. Keep your hands to yourself.
If convicted, that felony carries multiple years in prison. Benton police also shared these tips to avoid being the next victim, that you can require a signature to drop off packages. And if you aren't home, have a neighbor or friend grab your package or see if you can send it to another location that you'll be at. And a heads up, if you're traveling this weekend, RDOT has closed the off-ramp bridge from the I-440 to Highway 365. They say a routine inspection showed the ramp's foundation had eroded. There are detours, and we have this map right now on thv11.com as well. RDOT did not say how long this construction could take.
Now we're already starting to see temperatures cooling off into some of the 40s, even some of the upper 30s across northern portions of the state. Checking in at 43 right now in Searcy, Little Rock, Stuttgart, and Pine Bluff checking in around 48. Hot Springs checking in around 45. As we take another look across more of the metro, most places in the middle 40s at this point in the evening, awfully close to where we woke up this morning. Overnight temperatures looking to dip into more of the lower 40s, even possible upper 30s. And as we look towards tomorrow, more of the lower 60s possible, but I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Simone. New tonight, the Arkansas Division of Emergency Management is making sure everyone is prepared in case of an emergency. For the first time ever, ADEM is CERT training Arkansans in the deaf and hard of hearing community. CERT stands for Community Emergency Response Teams, and today rounds out ADEM's workshop. Those who attend are learning how to prepare for disasters, which Arkansas is no stranger to. They're learning skills like how to help out during a disaster and how to do it safely. They're also learning the basics of first aid.
How to use a fire extinguisher, how to be able to assist in search and rescue, how to turn off the utilities in your home. All of these things are really exceptional skills that they can use to help better prepare and to assist, because as you know, in a disaster, resources many times are overwhelmed.
Gary Reagan is the state preparedness coordinator with ADEM and says if we can help ourselves in time of a disaster, it helps the community as a whole. So this 2-day workshop will help assure the deaf and hard of hearing community that they are a part of that assistance. Reagan says those who are attending the 2-day workshop approached him saying sometimes they feel left out during a disaster, and he knew the agency needed to respond.
There's an opportunity to really be able to bridge that gap and make people aware for the deaf community and hard of hearing folks to be able to communicate with their government agencies and to reciprocate and learn about each other and the needs. So we just found it was an appropriate time to do it.
This CERT training is closed, but Reagan says if anyone a part of that community wants a training and help setting it up, they can reach out to his office and they'll work to get it done. Now, we all think about the March 31st tornado when we think about storms, but throughout the recovery process, other places have seen similar weather setbacks since then. THV11's Ian Russell shows there's similar aid for damages from summer storms as well.
Yeah, a lot of Arkansans were affected by storm damage this year, and we're not just talking about the tornado that hit back at the end of March. And now there's new assistance to help folks get back on their feet.
In Faulkner County, the chance for normalcy sits in this building.
I think so. There were several houses that were severely damaged, specifically in Conway.
Faulkner County Administrator Randy Higgins remembers June 25th well. That's when heavy storms moved through multiple parts of the state with high winds to match.
Especially some of the old growth and the older areas of Conway took some pretty severe damage with the winds.
Since then, Higgins says folks in his county need help. That's where Mary Ann Bradfield comes in.
The presidential declaration was denied on November 15th. So 5 days later, we came in on November 20th and made the agency declaration.
Bradfield is with the U.S. Small Business Administration. She's part of a team with locations across the state helping folks get back on their feet. Loans are available for homeowners, renters, businesses, and nonprofits affected by the June storms.
So I would encourage people to come in and make use of it.
The only problem, people may just not know about it. It's why Bradfield wants to get the word out that help is available and accessible.
We can go up to $500,000 for home repair or replacement. We can go up to $100,000 for personal property for homeowners and renters.
There's no commitment to taking the loan if you're approved, and no fees to even apply for this. Bradfield says if you need the help, don't hesitate to reach out. And it's a message shared by Higgins as well.
And there's some people, especially with significant damage to their house, that are probably going to need some assistance with some small loans to get back in their house.
In Faulkner County, Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
There's a lot of information to go through when it comes to these loans, like how much you need and what you need to qualify. You can find a link to all of that information right now on thv11.com. Arkansas medical marijuana industry has surpassed $1 billion in sales. That means a lot of revenue for the state, but new legislation is changing where that goes. $115 million of those sales go to state taxes. Nearly $90 million has already gone to UAMS for their work toward a National Cancer Institute designation. After that recent legislation, some of that total will instead go towards paying off reduced school lunch debt.
Meeting people and people coming in and saying, you know, thank you for saving my life. And at first I really didn't know what that meant. And then they would say, I'm off of opioids.
Just as it has over the past 4 years, the State Finance and Administration Department expects the program to continue growing in membership, meaning more tax revenue from the state's 38 dispensaries. In Israel, a broken ceasefire means Palestinian prisoners are no longer being exchanged for Israeli hostages. Chris Livesay shows it's leaving the families of the hostages in a state of dread over their fate and of the next phase of war.
Today marks 8 weeks since Hamas kidnapped some 240 hostages, including the Bibas family. This week, Hamas claimed 4-year-old Ariel Bibas, his 10-month-old brother Kafir, and their mother Shiri were all killed in the Gaza Strip by an Israeli airstrike, and released a video of the father, which we're not showing because he may have been speaking under duress. Israeli Defense Forces say they're examining the reliability of the information. Yafat Zeiler is the cousin of the mother, Shiri.
You see the psychology behind it. It's torture for us. I wish I could go there and bring him here myself and make this over. I need my family back, and I can't stop. I can't. A 10-month-old baby and a 4-year-old child.
With the collapse of the ceasefire, the hostages and the people of Gaza are once again caught in the crucible of war. Heeding calls from Israel to evacuate, Palestinians flee Khan Yunis in the south. Others clamor and sift through the rubble. The entire building collapsed, says Abdul Karim Hamdan. Here we have paralyzed women and frightened infants. Are they the target for Israel, who want a ceasefire? At the Shuhada Al-Aqsa hospital, women and children rush for treatment and safety. Despite the bombing, Israel says it will facilitate the entry of aid into Gaza. But the Red Cross says that will be difficult because everything in Gaza is at a breaking point.
Chris Livesay, CBS News.
In New York, candidates are already lining up for the congressional seat once held by George Santos. He was expelled from the House yesterday after a scathing ethics report. Other lawmakers, though, are leaving on their own. Nearly 40 members of the Senate and House have announced their retirement, including a former presidential candidate, while others, including former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, are mulling doing the same. In some cases, the recent dysfunction became just too much.
I worry about the state that the House of Representatives is in. I certainly do. So many constituents have asked me How can you stand it? It's so polarized. It's so toxic. My response every time has been the same. That is it tough? Yes. But America is worth it.
Two of the retirees could impact the race for the White House. Minnesota Democrat Dean Phillips is challenging President Biden, and West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin hasn't ruled out doing the same.